Thanks for watching another IMS Reality Help tutorial. This video will focus on the Reports icon. The Reports function provides you with detailed information on all agents, offices, or firms. For the purpose of this video, I'm using an older Chicago database, but you will have an up-to-date database for the MLS you're required. You'll notice that when you click on the drop-down menu, every item has a little blue and white question mark. These are written extensive help files describing what each item does and how useful these reports are to your business. Recruiting great agents and viewing potential partners to work with is all done from the Reports icon. Statistical information is available for every agent, office, or firm. Let's talk about recruiting. The first thing you'll see is a list of combined agents. This will show you all 23,821 agents in this Chicago database. Now, recruiting from that number is not possible. But what you can do is go into the advanced search and tell the program the kind of agent you're looking for. Let's say you're looking for agents who can do between 20 and 30 units and who have an average sale price of greater than or equal to $300,000. And then finish your search. You'll see that the program will now cut down the list of agents to a workable 445 entries. Once you have this list, what you'll do is take a look and find an agent you might be interested in. In our case, we'll look at Ann Karen. Keep in mind, this is an older database, so these statistics are not current for this agent. We'll click on Ann's name, and what will come up is a statistics sheet on Ann, and you'll know more about Ann than she knows about herself. In this case, we can see she had done 11 listings at that time, 19 buying ends, for a total of 30. Her double ends, 1. This line here is the entire average of all of those agents in this database. So when this particular agent has skills that are above average, it will come in these little boxes called performance listing ends or buying ends. In this case, Ann has skills that are above average on the listing end. We can see that the average agent sells homes in 97.6 days. Ann sells in 48 days. The difference being 49.6. So Ann, in essence, is selling homes 51% faster than the average agent. That's an awesome statistic. Her sold to ask ratio is also higher than the average agent. We can see the average agent's is 97.12, Ann's 98.38. The difference being 1.26% higher sold to ask ratio, which means on average, Ann is bringing her listers in over their asking price by $3,145. Now, if Ann was headed to a listing presentation, this would be something I'd want to show my client. So when you're recruiting Ann, you know that that's an awesome statistic, and this is a way to get Ann to call you back. What you'll do is either email or call Ann. Now, some MLSs will show the private phone numbers. Emailing isn't such a great idea for recruiting because often that's something an agent can take in and use as leverage with their own broker. Look who's trying to recruit me. So If you looked at the Reality or Related Realty website, you could likely find Anne's private cell phone number. That's the best method. Call Anne up and you'll leave her a message like this. Anne, did you realize you're selling homes 51% faster than the average agent? Did you know you were that good? Call me and I'll tell you what else I know about your awesome performance. Now Anne will call you back to the tune of about 60 to 70% call return. Cold calls today may get you a 10 to 13% return. Why not have a 70% call return? Recently, I spoke with a broker who called and said this was the first time he attempted a recruiting method with this program. Of the 11 calls that he made, 10 agents called him back, and what they all wanted to know, how did you know this? So he was very successful in his recruiting. When you scroll down the page, you'll see information like where Anne has done her deals. In this case, all of them in the city of Chicago. You'll be able to break it down into districts, counties, zip codes, however you want to see that information. You'll also see her 6-year totals. You want to know that an agent is on the rise or has been a steady performer. You don't want to see someone go from 22 to 12 to 10 to 3. You'll also be able to see all of her deals for the last 12 months. Now, once you're sure that this is someone you want to recruit, you're going to print this. The information will print up on a full page and will print everything except her pages of deals. That's information you don't need when you call Anne. So once you've printed it, you could put it in a physical file on your desk because you know that when Anne calls you back, you may be doing something else on your computer and can't get our program open fast enough and find her name, and by then Anne is hung up. If you have this in a paper physical file on your desk and Anne calls, you can easily pull out this sheet and be on the phone in 30 seconds, and Anne feels important. She knows that you knew who she was and why she was calling, and then you know everything about her. Anne is more apt to come in, sit down, and talk with you, and perhaps join your firm. Once you're finished with Anne, you'll click your back button, and you'll see you're back at her stats page. If you move to this line here and click, this will take you back to the list that you've already edited down, and you can continue on searching for your next recruit. I'm going to clear this information now and talk about another method of recruiting. We'll go to Combined Offices. Combined Offices will also give you the information you might need to see what your competition is doing. You'll see every firm, all of their information, how many units they had in total, and so on, all the way across the board. Now, if you were to recruit from, say, an office, you hear that there's something going on at Century 21 McMullen. Let's take a look and we'll see who their agents are. So the first thing you'll do is click on Century 21 McMullen, and it will bring up their stats page similar to how the agent stats page looked. You'll be able to see their number of units, listing, buying, any statistics that they have above the average of the other offices there. Once the page generates that report, you can now go back to the Reports button, click on Combined Agents, and there you have a list of all of their agents from their highest earners on down. Another method to recruiting from a specific firm. You can also go into the advanced search and narrow it down from here as well. We're going to clear this again and talk about more information under Reports. Base City Zip and Base City Agents. Say you're looking for an agent in a particular city. We'll click on Base City Agents, and what appears is a list of all the cities and how many agents are actually physically based in those cities. So say you need an agent in Naperville. You're really short on agents who work the Naperville city. We're going to click on Naperville, and it will appear showing you how many agents are based out of that city. Again, go back to Reports, click on Combined Agents, and you now have a list of every agent based in the city of Naperville. You can then go back to your recruiting methods and do an advanced search and narrow down your list again. All the information you want to know about agents or offices are found under Reports. Keep in mind that information, by clicking on the little blue and white question mark, will bring up a written help file. Or clicking on the little blue and white eye icon as well will give you more information. When you're finished, clear your search. And finally, let's talk about how to find an agent who might sell the most in a particular city or zip code. So first, you'll filter by that city or zip code. So we'll choose a city. This is different from your base city agents in that this will tell you who has sold the most in that particular city. So let's choose Arlington Heights again. We'll add it to our search. And now we have a list, combined agents, of who has sold the most in the city of Arlington Heights. Susan Duchek, 50 units. Now, if you click on Susan, you'll likely see that she's sold far more than 50 units. But we know that those 50 units were sold in Arlington Heights. So when you're looking for an agent that has sold the most in a zip code or a city or a district, it's as simple as filtering it through your filter first and then the combined lists. And we were correct. Susan has 61 units. Clicking on Arlington Heights, bringing it across, and seeing the results will show you again how many units she sold in the city of Arlington Heights. In this case, it was 50. When you scroll down, you'll see the information about Susan and what she sold in Arlington Heights. She's selling 30%, 36% faster than any agent in Arlington Heights. Now that's a good recruit. When you're finished with your information, you can go back to the list you narrowed down by clicking on the Arlington Heights line. And there you have it. So again, when you're finished with everything under Reports, clear your search, click on the Reality logo, and you're back at the beginning of your program.